Revelation 3186. From the 10th of July 1944. Last means. Recorded earth walk. God, in His love and patience, has granted the spiritual being an extremely long time for redemption, which would have been fully sufficient for the spiritual being's final return to Him if the human being had made use of it in the last stage, as is his task. The fact that he now fails, that he does not attach importance to his spiritual higher development and only lives for earthly life, is his completely free will. And therefore the human being must also accept the consequences. He cannot throw off the fetters of matter but must remain in it again for an infinitely long time because he himself desired it on earth. It is an unspeakably agonizing period of time for the spiritual, which was initially able to move in complete freedom and already once had to cover this agonizing course of development in order to now begin it again. It is such an agonizing state that God still gives it every opportunity to free itself before the end of this redemption period. And He applies the most effective means. He forcibly detaches people from matter in order to make it easy for them to overcome. He takes away their possessions and places them in the world completely carefree, so that it would now be easy for the human being to turn away from matter and only strive for spiritual good. But in the last days man is so rooted in them that he strives all the more eagerly to regain possession of earthly goods, and that he craves and strives for them more than before. And thus he will be granted what he desires. He himself is incarnated into matter, and his freedom of will is taken away from him again for an endless time. But the human being does not listen to such an idea, and therefore no help can be given to him because he cannot believe and does not want to believe. The recollection cannot be given to him since the development upwards would then take place under a certain compulsion if he knew about the torments of his past earthly life, and this would cause him to completely change his thoughts and actions. However, unconditional freedom of will must bring about this change, or it would be worthless before God. And therefore God still uses all means. He lets the end time be sorrowful for every human being in order to kill the desire for the material world in him, in order to direct his gaze into the spiritual kingdom, away from matter and towards God. And therefore He also allows the dreadful misery caused by human will, because this can contribute towards stifling earthly desire and achieving highest spiritual success in the desire for God. And therefore hardship and affliction will increase the closer it gets to the end. It will be taken from people what seems desirable to them. They will have to give away everything in order to be able to receive spiritual good, if it is imparted to them by God's messengers on His behalf. Yet free will never be touched, and therefore the harvest will not be great. Yet God's love will use every means to help the unredeemed spirits before the last hour has come in order to protect them from a repeated embodiment on earth, which is extremely painful. Amen.